Hi guys, it's just me again. I'm coming on to go ahead and give you the next stitch in our crochet along. And when I look at my list, we have, yeah, I should be asleep. It's almost 11. 21 actual stitches, and the other stitches that I had, again, were borders for around the edges, which we might not do. We might just do focus on the stitches. But this week's number was 16. So I looked up 16, and the stitch is the caramel cone, and it was done by Knotty Crochet. And the link to that tutorial is in the description box. And I have started, and it's the one where you have to do 3 rows of single crochet, and then the 4th row, at the row after the 3 single crochets, you work over the previous 3 single crochets, so you end up with the stacked stitch like this. Hi, Marty. So you can see I'm doing this strip real narrow because this is about the same as this one, and then this one was about the same as this one. So I started with a chain of 11 is all. And then I'm going to work this till it's 36 inches long, and it will go over here. Maybe, I don't know. We can change the order when we put our blankets together to whatever's most pleasing, or you can just do them, put them together as you go. It's up to you. But I was just finishing up the chain 3, not chain 3, the single crochet rows. I've got one more to do, and then you do the stitch that's worked over. And her tutorial is really good. You can go and watch her tutorial if you need a refresher. I needed a refresher because we did these a while ago. So let me get to the end here. So what you do, I chained 11, and then I started doing the 3 rows of single crochet, which gives you 10 stitches across, and then chain 1. All right, so now this was the bobble stitch. This was the bobbles. Where's the other one we did? Crochet granny spikes. And then this was the almond ridges here. Hi, Sandra Louise at Mommy's 2 Place. Welcome. So I'm going to just push these over here because I'm at the row where you do 3 rows of single crochet, and then you turn, chain 1 and turn, and then single crochet in the first one. So you're going to single crochet in the first and the last stitch on the row, and then in between you're going to do this kind of tall stitch, I call it. So you yarn over, you go into the top of the next stitch and drop a loop, yarn over, and then you're going to drop down, and you're going to go in this space that's below that same stitch in the previous row and drop a loop. You drop a loop, and you go all the way to the next hole below that, put in, drop a loop, and you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 loops, and then draw through all 7. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, drop a loop, yarn over, go down into the next hole here to the previous row, yarn over, and then go to the first of the 3 rows of single crochet and draw up. And when you draw up, make sure you're making sure all of the stitches end up the same height at the top, and then draw through all of the stitches on your hook. And that's how you end up with that caramel cone kind of area here. When you do a bunch of the rows, it does look like just like an ice cream cone almost. The kind of patches. That's why I kind of grabbed this that looks kind of like caramel, a very pale blonde caramel. And you just do that over and over. And yarn over, and then go back down in, pull up, yarn over, go down into the very first of the 3 rows, draw them up so they're all about the same height here. And then pull, and I need to pull some of this yarn out of here because it's looping. So let me bring you guys over. Maybe like this would be better. All right. So we'll yarn over. I'm going to go into the top of the next stitch, drop a loop, yarn over, go into that hole below here, and yarn over here, go in the very first of the 3 rows of single crochet, that little hole at the top of that row, and then you're drawing through. Okay, so yarn over, go into the top of that single crochet, then yarn over, and then drop down to the top of the previous row and draw up a loop, yarn over, and go into the very first row. The top of that stitch is basically what you're working in, and you draw through all of the stitches, and you just keep doing that until you get to the last stitch, and you're going to do a single crochet in that stitch. And then what you end up doing is 3 more rows of single crochet, and then you do this stitch again over those 3 rows. I think we've got 1 more of these kind of stack stitches that we have to do. So yarn over, draw up your loop, yarn over, go down into that, and drop your loop, yarn over, and go down to the very first of the 3 rows and draw up, and then pull through all of them. And then you find that top of that very last one, and you're going to put a single crochet in that, just the single. So single crochet, and then you chain 1 and turn, and then you're going to do 3 rows of single crochet. So you have something to work in. Please note, and even Noddy says, see, that one's a little loose. I might pull this back and tighten that up a little bit. This is a yarn hungry stitch. It eats up a ton of yarn. So if you're looking for a way to make something quick and use up a bunch of yarn, this is a stitch for you. I pulled that one out because I had a loop that was sticking out at the back. I got too loose. Sometimes pulling back through that many things can be difficult, but I managed. All right, and then chain 1, and then turn and do back and forth 3 rows, and that'll be single crochet. So everybody knows how to do a single crochet, I would think, if you crochet. So it's just inserting the hook, draw up a loop, then draw through both loops on the hook. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the top of the last one kind of hides, and 10, chain 1, and we'll do 10 back across again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, and a chain 1 and turn, and then do 10 single crochets, because I used a chain of 11 to start, so that means I end up with 10 stitches across, because I wanted a nice narrow, because last time I did double that. So I think I did 21 stitches or 22. I don't remember. It's been a minute. I finished that row. I've moved on to this one. All right. And so now you have your base row is set. So now you get to work these long stitches into those spaces, but you always start with a single crochet in the first one, and then you go into the yarn over, go into the top of that first row, that row just below, yarn over, go into the space right here, which is the top of the row below, draw up a loop and yarn over, and then you're going to go down 2 rows, go in that hole and draw up a loop, and then you want to make sure they're all even at the top and you don't have a bunch of loose yarn, sticking out, making loopity loops. Then you pull through all of them. And that's all you do to get this. If you get stuck along the way, come back and watch me again, or go watch Naughty. And I hope whoever's playing along with this crochet-along is enjoying it. I'm going to move you guys back. Whoop. There. So this was our week 1, which was the Almond Ridge stitch, and that was brought to us by Bella Coco Crochet. And if for anybody that doesn't know, I'm revisiting a crochet along I did a couple years ago where we made a afghan and we just did several rows. This time we're doing just narrow strips. I'm doing 36-inch long strips that I will, when I get a bunch of strips, I'm going to put them together side to side and stitch them up and make an afghan that way. So this was the, I keep forgetting it, Almond Ridge, because it's got ridges. It's hard to see on this one. And then we did the spiked granny stitch here. It's really kind of a cool stitch. I wouldn't mind a sweater made out of that. And then the last week we did baubles, and I did multicolored ones. I have 4 colors repeated along. And when I did my rows, I did, I started one row, just 3 count in, and then the next row I did 5 count in. So the 3 count in here ended with 5 at this side, and then the 5 at this side ended in 3 on this side. And that way I could have the baubles kind of moving like a wave across it. And I think that was a lot of fun. The baubles really give it a lot of texture. And then so this stitch is called the caramel cone. So that's the 4 stitches we've done so far coming together. And good night, Angie. I'm going to go get ready for bed too, because it's pretty late for me. It's almost 11 and I'm usually asleep by now. I've got a playlist, and this video is in that playlist. I think I've called it something, the narrow strip crochet along. I can't even remember what I called the playlist, but I do have them in a playlist. So I will, thank you, Beth. I will talk to you guys later. I'm going to go get ready for bed now, and happy stitching.